Elon Musk is a philanderer who's home-wrecking by sleeping with best friends' wives, or nothing of the sort. What the hell is going on here? Hey y'all, it's Dr. Know-It-All. It is now 11:30 at night. Don't usually record videos at 11:30 at night, but there has been quite a bit of brouhaha going on around Elon Musk and a Wall Street Journal article of all things. I mean, the Wall Street Journal has had a reputation for quite a long time of being a very reputable newspaper, but interestingly enough, in the last few years, its reputation has certainly fallen on some hard times. I won't say it's because Jeff Bezos purchased the publication, but I think it's just in general newspapers and other forms of media have kind of gone downhill in terms of the quality of reporting and fact checking and things like that. Now, I want to be very clear at the beginning of this that I'm not going to take a particular side. I don't know Elon Musk. I don't know Sergei Brin. I don't know any of the participants in all of this. But what I do think is important is, number one, to try to look at this as rationally as possible. And number two, to listen to what Elon Musk says, since he's one of the parties involved and he's one of the only people actually publicly commenting on this thing. And number three, try to dig a little bit behind the scenes and try to figure out why some of this stuff would be going on. So first of all, let's start with the chain of events. Again, it's 11:30 at night, East Coast time right now, so there very well could be tweets that will happen overnight between when I film this and when the video comes out. So if there are, forgive me for not including them, but this is current as of when I'm shooting this video. So anyway, earlier today, Hallmark's catalog, who everyone should be following. If you're not, I don't know why you're not. If you care about what's going on with Elon and Hallmark's catalog have a thing together, so you should definitely keep track of what he's tweeting. Anyway, referring to a Wall Street Journal article, he said Elon Musk's allegedly banged Google co-founder Sergey Brin's wife, leading to the couple's divorce filing. The two are apparently no longer friends. This, according, of course, to the Wall Street Journal. And if we want to take a quick look at this, nice big picture, put the two guys in tuxedos with bow ties, I guess. That's a nice way of making them look all professional. And then, of course, they have this behind a paywall, which is super, super annoying when you're going to be producing an article that is, number one, salacious, and number two, of course, people are going to want to read this article. So, of course, they've made this difficult to get into and that you have to pay for it, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't really want to go into the article very much because, again, it just is salacious. They don't really have any quotes from any of the actual participants. Elon Musk actually says that at one point. So anyway, it's just kind of an all, hearsay kind of deal. So anyway, that's the sort of setup with this. And then about 90 minutes ago, this is where things got into it. Elon Musk responded to this by saying, "This is total BS. Sergey and I are friends and we're at a party together last night. I've only seen Nicole twice in 3 years, both times with many other people around, nothing romantic." So there you go. That's what Elon Musk says about that. Again, I don't know any of the parties involved, although I will get into this stuff a little bit more later on. Then about 1 hour ago, Tesla Hype said, you warned this would happen. Not surprising. FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Elon Musk on May 18th, he was referring to this tweet where he said, "Political attacks on me will escalate dramatically in the coming months." A lot of this has to do with the whole Twitter deal and everything, which is why there's a little bit of irony, the fact that this is all being displayed on Twitter. In fact, the whole thing about Elon Musk still tweeting consistently on Twitter while there's an actual lawsuit going on about the very fact of him purchasing Twitter is somewhat ironic, but that's a whole different story. Anyway, Elon responded, "Yeah, the character assassination attacks have reached a new level this year, but the articles are all nothing burgers. I work crazy hours, so there just isn't much time for shenanigans. None of the key people involved in these alleged wrongdoings were even interviewed." So again, obviously Elon Musk was not interviewed, but neither were any of the other key players. So that's a rather big deal and pretty egregious on the part of the Wall Street Journal, which should actually be upholding better journalistic standards. And then we get into the fun stuff here. Hallmark's catalog said, "Phew, glad to hear that about nothing romantic with Nicole. Keep your you-know-what in your pants, they're out for your head." And Elon Musk responded, "Haven't even had sex in ages, sigh." To which Danielle X said, "Damn, not even on vacation," because there were pictures of him in Mykonos recently. Sans shirt. And of course, Elon made fun of himself about those shirtless pictures as well. But anyway, Elon responded, "Nope," and that's kind of sad. Go to Greece, go on a yacht, don't even get sex. That's a pretty sad deal. Elon, if it makes you feel any better, I haven't had sex in quite a while either, but misinformation has been out of town, so she would probably not be happy if I had been having sex. But anyway, as long as we're all being honest, there you go. And then a little more fun, James Stevenson mentioned an article from July 26th of 2020, which is almost exactly 2 years ago, about Elon Musk denying being in a threesome with Amber Heard and Clara Delvanigni. I hope I'm pronouncing that last name correctly. Anyway, and Elon Musk, responded, laughing my butt off, absolutely, to which I had to respond, so you're denying being the meat in a crazy burger? Good call on that one. Phew. And I'll let you all figure out what that all means. And then back to the more serious stuff, Dave Lee mentioned, wow, the Wall Street Journal just ran the craziest hit piece ever, shameless. And Elon Musk responded, Wall Street Journal has run so many BS hit pieces on me, and Tesla, I've lost count. It's embarrassing for them, frankly. They once wrote an article saying the FBI was about to arrest me, so I called the FBI to ask what's up, and they said the Wall Street Journal article was total BS, just more short seller FUD. And finally, Tesla owners of Silicon Valley said, is there anything we can do? And Elon Musk said, call them out on it, I guess, which is exactly why I'm filming a video at 11:30 at night. The Wall Street Journal is supposed to have a high standard for journalism, and right now they are way sub-tabloid. Wall Street Journal should be running stories that actually matter to their readers and have solid factual basis, not third-party random hearsay. So that, folks, is what the state of affairs is at about 11:38 p.m. at this point now. So anyway, obviously there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of he said, she said kind of junk. But of course, what we're seeing is more and more sort of personal ad hominem attacks on Elon Musk recently. And a lot of this, of course, has to do with the whole Twitter brouhaha. And whoever's fault it is about Twitter, and, maybe he shouldn't have even tried to purchase them in the first place. But whatever that situation is, it's quite clear that things are moving in a direction where people are starting to attack Elon Musk personally, since there's not an awful lot of stuff to attack Tesla or SpaceX on at the moment. Even with the Q2 results not being quite as good as everybody wanted them to be, with the Shanghai shutdowns, they were actually way higher than most people thought. So, again, Q2 results for Tesla were quite good. SpaceX is just killing it right now. So it seems like for anybody to gain some traction, it's turning into an attack Elon Musk sort of free-for-all at the moment. Now, is the Wall Street Journal article true? There's no way for us outsiders to know the truth of it or not, but looking at it, nobody involved was actually interviewed. It was a bunch of hearsay evidence, and Elon Musk has come out quite definitely against it. He didn't pull one of those political things where he said, well, oh gosh, what a scandal. I can't believe anybody would accuse me of this. He said, absolutely not. That's a pretty flat denial right there. And I know it's on social media and everything, but it seems like he could actually get in trouble for lying in public about something like that if it wasn't true. I'm not exactly sure about the legalities of all those things, but at any rate, he'd be reamed in public if he came out and said something like that as flatly as he had, and then it was proven otherwise. So, that seems like an unlikely circumstance that he would be quite that direct about it and, as out in the open. And then, of course, continuing on and oversharing a little bit beyond what he actually needed to share with everybody. But this actually goes to what I was talking about earlier when I said I was going to discuss Elon Musk's personality a little bit later. Elon Musk is kind of pathologically honest and transparent. That's a personality trait. Now, again, I don't know the guy personally, but from everything I've seen, the way he does interviews, when he actually talks to people that ask good questions, the way he behaves on Twitter, even talking about the fact that most of his tweets are when he's on the toilet and stuff, there's just a lot of stuff where he shares to an extent and is transparent to an extent that normal human beings aren't even that way. So he does not seem like the kind of person who just sort of hides stuff behind a bunch of veils. Now, obviously, anybody who's semi-intelligent in business is going to do the best job they can to try to get the good deals in business and everything, so they're not going to tell everybody everything. But generally speaking, Elon Musk seems like a person who really shares a lot of personal details in his life and even in business and stuff like that too. I mean, heck, Tesla has shared its patents. Back in 2014, they open sourced a whole bunch of patents. I actually did an episode recently on the charging standard, which you should watch if you haven't watched yet, but it's about how Tesla could go one step further and open source those patents even more. But they're already very open sourced along with a whole bunch of other patents. They're sharing the 4680 battery technology with Panasonic and others to try to do that rising tide rises all boats kind of deal. And so you can see how Elon Musk's personality of being very transparent, very sharing, all of that kind of stuff extends to other things beyond just his own personal life. So what I'm saying here is if he is absolutely denying something happened, it is unlikely that he is just bald-faced lying. He seems to care a lot about the truth. Again, like I said, almost pathologically, he cares about the truth. And so I would be very surprised if he was lying completely like that and talking about it. And in fact, calling himself out for not having had sex in a while. So, all of those kinds of things make it seem fairly unlikely that this particular scandal is true. But then, of course, that calls the question, what the heck is going on, which is how I started this entire video. What I think is going on here, and this is something that's been happening for years and years, since Tesla began to actually ramp up and become something of a threat. So let's call it in the early teens, like 2013, 2014, when Tesla actually started to get enough notoriety that other automobile companies and other people started to notice them. And you had the formation of groups like Tesla Q, which are big deniers in Elon Musk and Tesla and everything, and have been going for years, trying to create fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And of course, you have Wall Street short sellers, and you have a lot of other parties who are interested in taking Elon Musk and his companies down. You've got a lot of people with a lot of financial motivation who want to tear Elon Musk down, and by association, tear down the companies that he's running as well. There are ways to make a great deal of money off of reducing stock prices in public companies, and Tesla's a really, really big target. But beyond that, Elon Musk is not really a person who tries to be friends with everybody, and so therefore he can make enemies out of people who would then, for whatever reason, just out of spite or something like that, decide that they were going to try to tear him down personally as well. So I think what we've seen is in the past, when Tesla was much more vulnerable, so in the later teens, 2016, 2017, 2018, when production hell was going on with the Model 3 in specific, you saw a huge amount of short seller interest, a huge amount of Tesla Q interest, a huge amount of fear, uncertainty, and doubt being spread about Tesla, about Elon Musk, all of that kind of stuff. That tended to focus a little bit more professionally. The thing is right now that Tesla has gotten into such a strong position that they're actually, in terms of the automotive industry, and I know they're more than just an automotive manufacturer, but let's just for a moment say that they're in the automotive industry. But anyway, their position has become so solid, they're actually on top of that heap. So it's very difficult to attack Tesla, the company, now. So I think what's happening is we're seeing a rotation where people are doing ad hominem attacks against Elon Musk personally to try to mess around with the share prices, to try to mess around with his personal life, to try to make things more miserable. Again, remember, he's in litigation with Twitter right now over his purchase or lack thereof of Twitter for $44 billion, or for a cheaper price, or not at all, or with a walkaway price of $1 billion or whatever. But there's a lot of money involved, and there's a lot of people who stand to make or lose a lot of money depending on what kinds of things happen. So I think that if we really start to approach the heart of this, what we're looking at is we're looking at people with a great deal of motivation to tear Elon Musk down. And he's obviously a person with a huge target on his back because he's the richest person in the world. So even regardless of anything else, if you're that famous and that rich, people are going to come after you no matter what. But given the fact that Elon Musk is trying to change the world and he's a titan of industry and everything, there's even more motivation for people to come after him. So that, in my mind, is the most likely reason for things like this. The Wall Street Journal probably didn't concoct this story out of whole cloth, but what they did was they didn't check, right? So if somebody came to them and said, ooh, I've got a salacious story to sell you, and the Wall Street Journal said, sure, we'll gobble it up, we don't care. We just want eyeballs on our paper, so, by all means do this, and we won't really fact check you, we'll just print it. That is bad journalism. For the National Enquirer or something like that, that would be perfectly par for the course. But for a supposedly reputable publication, that's just egregiously bad. But beyond all that, on a more fundamental level, I think there's a really, really big desire on a small group of people's part to, I suppose, make money, but there could be other motivations as well. But anyway, to tear Elon Musk and his companies down as much as possible, probably to make a quick buck, but also potentially just because they don't like the guy so darn much that they want to do anything they can to get in the way of his success. So in short, this video is doing what Elon Musk suggested, which is calling out the Wall Street Journal and potentially many other mainstream media. I know the AP has picked up this article as well. And of course, this isn't the only salacious article about Elon Musk, and it won't be the last one either. So there will be plenty in the future as well. So anyway, hopefully, at least when you in the future read these articles, articles, you're going to think twice about the veracity of them. That's the important thing, is to use your brain, think about whether it's likely that this is a true article, whether these accusations are true or not, and ultimately, even if the accusations are true, whether it matters and who stands to make money out of all of this. So just read all this stuff with a more critical eye. Hopefully that'll be a way for you to avoid the most egregious pitfalls of all of this kind of stuff. It really has gotten ridiculous. Again, it wouldn't surprise me all if something like the National Enquirer published something like this, but the Wall Street Journal, it's just embarrassing. They shouldn't be publishing this, even if it was true, unless it became something so big that it was affecting Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, Boring Company, etc. Then it would actually matter. But short of that, they shouldn't even be publishing this if it was true, much less if it's just rumors and whisperings. That's just awful journalism, folks. You really have to do better than that. All right, I hope you found this episode fun and thought-provoking and perhaps a little aggravating as well. If you enjoyed it, please do like it so other people can find it. And of course, consider subscribing for more of this kind of content. As always, a huge shout out to my patrons on Patreon. Thank you all so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. You really do make this worthwhile and a lot more fun than it would be by myself. And of course, if you want to join the team, just check out the link in the description. And if you're interested in a whole bunch of really cool merch, check out our merch store. Link is in the description. We have TeslaBot t-shirts, the Tesla meme t-shirt, success is a possible outcome, 4680 battery cells. All of that stuff is on t-shirts, mugs, tumblers, and on. So check it out. And for those of you interested in investing, check out WeBull, an amazing platform for buying and selling stocks, and now cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and others. Open an account and get a free stock valued at up to $200, and fund your account and get another free stock valued at up to $1,600. Check out the link in the description and help the channel at the same time. Thank you. And finally, don't forget we are both Tesla and Amazon affiliates. If you look in the description, you can see how going shopping for a solar roof, a Powerwall, or anything on Amazon helps out the channel. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.